Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So good to be here with you this evening, and welcome to Talk Therapy Live. Tonight's version, we are going to be talking about an upcoming program of the Majestic Woman. My name is Candee Winfield. I am the creator of the Majestic Woman course. And so tonight we're going to be talking about an upcoming Majestic Woman event. And that event is the Majestic Woman VIP Day. It's going to be January the 21st, which is a Saturday. It's a one-day virtual experience. So tonight, that's what we're going to be talking about. And the VIP day, as I said, it's a virtual experience. And what it's all about is that I thought about at the top of the year, we kind of come out with goals, plans, resolutions, things that we want to accomplish, and things that we're going to do differently than from last year, right? And sometimes by the end of January and definitely by the middle of February, it's kind of fallen by the wayside. We have fallen right back into our routines, and we just kind of get discombobulated and we fall off. So I thought about what is it that causes that to happen? Because I think all of us have good intention at the top of the year. And as I was thinking about that, I kind of identified some things that caused that to happen for us to just get off track. One is time, procrastination, or time management. Another being finances. Sometimes we blame or think that we don't have sufficient income or sufficient finances to do what we want to do. Another area that kind of gets in the way is sometimes our own, tenacity in terms of our spiritual life. So something happens and we just give up, even though we know that it's something that God has put in us to do or something that is tied to our purpose and destiny. We still fall short. We give up. Other times it's just our own stuff, which is what we're going to talk about tonight, how our stuff can get in the way. But then it's also, serious and real mental health issues sometimes get in the way, depression, anxiety, trauma. And so I thought about all of that and I said, I want to bring together a team of success coaches in all of those areas that we can kind of tackle and get some of that stuff out of the way so they don't become hindrances and obstacles that prevent us from reaching our goals. This year, 2023, this is the year we're going to do it. This is the year we are going to make things happen. And so I wanted to be able to provide you an opportunity to address any of those things. So that is what Majestic VIP Day is about. So I have success coaches in each of those areas. In time management, I have Pat Mahone, visionary queen, and she has a book. She has a planner. She is time management queen. So she's eliminating procrastination. I have Pamela Wade, who is an MBA, educated, but also a person who has worked in financial services and financial management for over 20 years. Her passion is, again, equipping women to be financially literate. So she's going to be with us on the day. I also have Dr. And Pastor Barbara Green, who is someone who walks in her calling, which is prayer. You all probably know somebody who they just exemplify and exude power in terms of their spirituality. That's who Dr. Barbara Green is. Again, she has written a book on prayer. She has a prayer manual. So she's going to be with us on that day, helping us to, again, remove obstacles, overcome those things that cause us to sometimes not fulfill and walk in the power that we have in terms of our spirituality and our personal relationship with God. I also have And she is going to be with us tonight, Tonja Davis. And her ministry is healing for women. And so I will be bringing her on shortly, and we're going to kind of just have a little dialogue on the day. The day is also going to include and actually end with a session of breath work. And breath work is, again, a somatic practice of breathing, but it's not just breathing. It's not deep breathing. It's not, it is a form of breathing that actually calms your nervous system. And it has all of these wonderful health benefits. And so we're going to end the day with a breathwork session. And again, that's something that you're going to be able to take with you throughout the year, something you can learn and begin practicing and helping you to stay calm, reducing anxiety, learning how to respond and not react in situations. So the day is power packed. It's going to be awesome. You're going to be changed, and you need to be a part. So if you haven't registered, please take the time to register, because again, it's just going to be an awesome day of equipping. So I want to talk about my guest tonight. As I said, it is going to be Tonja Davis. And Tonja Davis is an educator. She is an ordained minister. She is a mental health coach, and she is also a life coach. And again, her ministry has been inner healing for women. And when we talk about inner healing, we're talking about going in and dealing with that stuff that's kind of always been there that you just haven't recovered from, whether it is shame, whether it is guilt, whether it is unforgiveness. But again, tonight, and the topic that we're going to address in the Majestic VIP day is rejection. Rejection is big. I would say probably 70% of the women that I deal with in some way have rejection issues, have been rejected, and have not healed from that rejection. So rejection is big, and it is something that we need to address. And so Tonja is going to be talking about rejection. We're going to talk a little bit about it tonight, but that's what she will be addressing on the VIP day on January the 21st. So without further ado, I am going to bring our special guest on. And there she is. Welcome, Tonja.
Welcome, welcome. Glad to be here.
It's so good to have you. Um, as I mentioned, that one of your areas is rejection. And as I was kind of going over your material, I looked at it, and I have to admit, rejection is one of is part of my stuff that comes up for me. Of course, you always think you've kind of overcome it and it's not an issue, and then something will happen, and then it comes up, and you're like, okay, there's a little more work I got to do. But as I was reading your material, one of the things that was so powerful, and again, it catapulted me to a whole nother place in terms of rejection. And that is simple, but it was something I had never thought of. And that is, you said, and I'm going to read it. I can find it. I have it here. That rejection is an emotion. I thought, oh my God, an emotion? I have always thought of rejection as this great big old thing that was in the way, that I had to overcome, that I had to get around, that I had to go under and over, that it was just kind of this thing. I never ever thought of rejection as an emotion. But when I
Yes.
thought about it, it is. And it was so powerful for me because I can handle my emotions. I also know that sometimes my emotions aren't even accurate. I can feel something, but that doesn't mean that's what it is.
Right.
So that set me free. I was like,
Yeah.
right. I never thought of
Yeah.
rejection as an emotion. What about those of you who are on. And let me welcome our guests. We have some guests on. We have Linda. Welcome, Linda. We have Adriana is on with us tonight. Welcome. Welcome. So good to have you all. Um, and again, for viewers, did anybody ever think of rejection as an emotion? I always thought of rejection as a thing, a big thing. That was so powerful to me. So tell us a little bit about declaring war on rejection. And let me also say that WAR is an acronym, right?
Right.
And so let me see. Um,
Beautiful.
yes. So this is your work, Declaring
Mhm.
War on Rejection. Can you tell us a little bit about declaring war on rejection and particularly what WAR stands for?
WARR stands for, because I'm a Christian life coach, I'm a Christian mental health coach. So WARR, for whatever I do within my programs, my inner healing, my labs, whatever I do, it falls under the umbrella of that war, because we're declaring war on the lies that have come into our lives and have held us back, kept us bound, and have hindered us from becoming all that we were designed to be by God, which is heal and whole. So WAR stands for walking. The W is for walking in the power of the word. The first A is for aware of those lies in your life. The next A is awaken to who you truly are in Christ. And the R is for rising up into your true identity as a daughter of the sovereign God, becoming the daddy's little girl you were designed to be, healed and whole, because it's time to reign in your royalty, and
Yeah.
royalty reigns in confidence.
Oh,
And
that's
when we're
awesome.
healed and we're whole, we walk in confidence. Mhm.
And you also, there was a quote that you stated
Mhm.
regarding women. Oh my goodness, where where you talked about her purpose. Can you
Mm.
talk about that?
When I was asked once in a podcast or interview or something, and say, "How does a woman use her purpose to become whole?" And I said, "A woman becomes whole when she finds her purpose. Because when you find out who you are and the purpose you were designed and birthed in this earth to be or do, then there's a wholeness in that's your whole self. What it looks like is a part of the journey. So when you accepted your calling as Dr. Candee Whitfield, this is what God has designed me to be. You were whole. You were that whole woman already. Then you began the process of taking on studying and showing yourself approved, and then taking on clients. And now you are confident in walking that path of ministering to women, because it's ministry. I know you're licensed and you got to
It,
give Caesar what's Caesar, but it's ministry. And
it
when
is
you
ministry.
when you pull the, because I've been in one of your programs and it is absolutely ministry. And when you stand in front of us and you give what God has given you, and he's able to flow through you like that, that's the whole you being used. That's God's hand. You are God's hand in that moment, being used to empower and minister to those women that he's drawing back unto him, because he says, with loving kindness have I drawn you, and my people perish for lack of knowledge. So you gave us knowledge. You give them knowledge in those sessions that empowers them to be able to go forward and take those steps to become who they were designed to be. That's a part of waking the sleeping army.
Yeah.
You know.
And what's so important is that each and every one of us have that in us. It
Yes.
is a matter of finding what that purpose is. Why am I here? And as you
Mm-hmm.
said, once you find that, it's empowering, it's juvenating, it's the
Yes.
fuel that kind of
Right.
keeps you going. And
It is a
so,
feeling.
yeah, it's fuel. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's why the Majestic VIP Day is so important, because we want you to get there. We want you
Mm-hmm.
to identify what it is that you have been put here to do and to remove the obstacles The hindrances, the things that prevent you and stop you from walking in your purpose and calling. Because we all have one.
Yeah.
Each and every one of us have some gifting that was put in us for us to fulfill in this earth. And like you said, when you are walking in that, you are whole.
Yeah.
I think you use the word unstoppable, that you become unstoppable.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's
What's
just
so
really good.
powerful about your majestic woman? It's. I was getting ready to say what I feel like it is. It's a retreat. It's really a retreat, and it's a retreat that is going to give the women that attend. Is going to give them tools to continue and be strengthened on their journey to finding out who they are and why they're here, to finding their purpose. You bringing finance there. You bringing you said the breathing, how to control your anxiety when those moments that life hits you unexpectedly. You bringing the breathing forward. You bringing I remember the finances because we all need we all need help in that area. And when you have a healthy relationship with, and the mental health piece, of course, when you have a relationship with your inner man and with the finances, because as adults we have to pay bills, we got to put food on the table. There are financial responsibilities that we have to partake of as an adult, this adulting thing. And when we mishandle that, then life can become overwhelming, and then we need to come see you because we got to get you to help us pull it all back together. So when
Yes,
you bring someone forward that can teach us how to go forward in our finances, it's a liberating experience because you don't have that stress every month, because you're gaining wisdom and knowledge on how to handle these adult matters, because you're not going to stop being an adult. You never go back to being a child. You're always going
exactly.
to be an adult. So at being an adult and knowing tomorrow's coming, and then the next day, and then the next day, I need this knowledge that you're going to bring forward in this majestic woman space. I need this knowledge to empower me how to handle my money better, how to not spend foolishly, how to budget, how to all of that
Plan.
coach, financial, how to plan exactly, all of that coach is going to bring. That's a retreat. That's liberating. That's information that will empower the women to go forward and be better. And when we're better as women, everybody connected to us is better because we're the
Absolutely.
nurturers. We're the nurturers. Yeah.
Yeah, and the overseers and
Yes.
ones who get things done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Majestic VIP day again. I love, yes, a retreat, but it's also I've been saying it's an equipping.
Oh, yes.
It's an
Yes.
equipping
Mm-hmm.
because all of those different areas are the areas that sometimes hold us back or get out of order and
Yes.
prevent us from walking in destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the first step
Yes.
in terms of finding out what I need to do next. What's my
Mhm.
next step in finances, in
Mhm.
physical health, in mental health? So I want to talk about our topic tonight, which is getting your stuff out of the way.
Mhm.
So when we talk about your stuff, obviously I'm talking about, mental health, depression, anxiety, stress, trauma. But then when I say our stuff or your stuff, I kind of talk speaking specifically about those personal issues, rejection being one of them. Unforgiveness sometimes is one of them. Guilt, shame, all of these things are sometimes what we come out of our family of origin with that we don't necessarily address or heal from. And so it impacts how we show up as an adult. It impacts show up in our relationships as a employee, as an employer. It's going to impact us. And oftentimes we know it's there, but because it's always been there, we don't
Mhm.
necessarily do the work to heal from it.
Mhm.
And so knowing that I have to heal and be whole, so that I can walk in my purpose and destiny. So, all of those issues, again, mental health issues, but those personal issues are things that can become a hindrance.
Yes.
And we all have them. We all have stuff that we come with.
Mhm.
And sometimes that comes from our family of origin. So, talk a little bit about rejection in terms of types of rejection, because we use that word rejection a lot, but it is almost an umbrella
Mm.
that underneath it, there are many, many types and forms of rejection. So, can you talk a bit about that?
Yes. My passion is to get those that I come into contact with to realize and to be aware. Awareness is a powerful tool to be aware of how to have a healthy relationship with rejection, because rejection is going to come. It's going to come. And it's what we do with it that allows us to maintain our mental health. The types of rejection, um, is you can have social rejection, you can have relationship rejection, you could have, just to name two, like relationship rejection is maybe when you're in a relationship, it's not necessarily a boo, it could be a friend, and they've decided they don't want the relationship anymore. If it's an intimate relation connection, if it's a friendship connection, it may be that you could feel rejection, and it's something as small as you wanted to go to the movies, y'all made plans, and then it was canceled, and they really didn't say why it was canceled. They just didn't go. And
Mm,
so if you don't have a healthy relationship with how to handle that no or that cancellation, then that could take you down a road where you feel like you start taking on the rejection,
the feelings of
the
rejection.
feelings of those rejections and the consequence of that rejection, and you start listening to that inner dialogue with she must be, and you're coming up with these scenarios of what it could be without even talking to the person
Mm-hmm.
yet. So it is all a matter of time, giving time the space to get understanding, because
Mm-hmm.
scripture says, "And all that getting, get understanding." Giving time the space to understand, and if you can't talk to that person right then wait until you can. But what to do with those thoughts until you can have that conversation with that person and maybe get an understanding of why they couldn't participate in going to the movies like you two had planned before. So there's many different scenarios of rejection, and it could come small and it could come very, very big to the point where it can be traumatic.
Absolutely. Even applying for a job and not getting a
Mm-hmm.
job, or applying to college and not
Yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah,
that
exactly.
rejection happen.
Mm. and and
It's
and oh, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's my connection or yours, but go ahead. You froze.
I'm here.
Okay,
I
go
saw
ahead. Now
that
you're back.
a little bleep blip right there, but I think we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all different types of rejection, from again being denied a job,
Mm-hmm.
school, um, family rejection.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes within a family, there can be types of rejection. Talk about that
Yeah.
a little bit.
Oh, and family rejection can come. It family rejection is like it can come like a what you call stealth bomber. The stealth bomber, it rides under the radar and you don't even know it's there until boom, till it hits you,
Mm,
because they're so close. And the things are said, uh and you tend to take family for granted, as Jesus said, uh, a prophet is difficult to receive in his own home. So family tend to be the one to take your love for granted. So things can be said, words can be said, and feelings can be shared even in their moments of I'm not doing well and they're not saying it, and take it out on you. And then you could take that on as personal, but is their issue, is not yours. So you can take that on, feel that rejection, and then start trying to make things right. But I tell those that I work with too that, we can't, we need to stop trying to fix what we didn't break. And so if that person is dealing with something and they having issues and they're attaching those issues to me, it's not my responsibility to fix that. And a healthy relationship with rejection will empower you to be able to do that.
And not be devastated, not
Yes.
it not be a setback.
Mm-hmm.
The other areas that we're going to deal with in terms of mental health and our own issues, again, I'm going to speak on depression, anxiety, and trauma. And I know that sounds like a whole lot, but I'm going to focus on the thread that kind of runs through all of those.
Yes.
And what that is our thought life.
Mm.
I'm going to talk a lot about our thoughts
Yeah.
and how our thoughts are often, um, well, let me say it this way: how what we say to ourselves and what we're thinking determines how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to be very, very mindful, very, very careful, very, very conscious
Yes.
of what we're saying to ourselves. And so I'm going to talk and teach about cognitive distortions uh,
Mm.
in my session. Uh, and again, if you're depressed, if you're having anxiety, uh, if you're dealing with trauma, your thinking is distorted. And
Amen.
so I'm going to teach about that. And it's going to be powerful. And again, you will have some tools that day that you can take with you to begin to make a difference in your life all of 2023.
Mm.
In March, the Majestic Woman course is going to roll out. This will be the second um, time that I have taught this course. And this is a 5-week course. So it's a lot more in depth. It's similar to the course that you attended,
Oh, that's
Tonja,
gonna
in
be
terms of
awesome.
it being 5 weeks.
Mm.
Um, and it's really a springboard from the Be a Queen course. It's kind of like the next level,
Awesome.
Be a Queen. Um, but in that course, I am teaching the Majestic Woman mindset because you got to get this right first before you can walk in it.
Yes.
And if your mindset is not majestic, you can't be majestic. And so we have to start there. And so that's what that 5-week course is about. And then again, when you get that mindset right, again, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. I want to also share and have you talk about the inner healing suite that you have.
Well, the Inner Healing Suite is it's a collection of, it's not really a collection, but it is a collection of those major areas that the enemy attack us in. And it's rejection, it's shame, and it's fear. And understanding what they are, what the effects of them are in our lives, how to address it, and then how to overcome it, and even knowing what to do when and if they come back, and they will, but understanding why they come back. So very powerful inner suite, and those are in my coaching program that we go through uh, for each one of those. Some want to focus more on rejection, some want to focus more on fear, some want to do them all. So it just depends. But that's the Inner Healing Suite, because that's the three biggest areas that the enemy attack. And your portion that you're going to teach on, like you said, it's a thread. That's some of the same things that come up when I'm taking those through the Inner Healing Suite.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And knowing that, again, those are areas that we have to confront. It's not
Yes.
like they're going to go away. It's how you respond when it
Mhm.
shows up,
Yes.
and responding in a way that it's not a setback, You're not devastated. You're not taken out. But again, and I talk about this in terms of the majestic woman, you're resilient.
Mm-hmm.
You bounce back. You
Yes.
learn from it. Because with every lesson, every encounter, every challenge, there's lessons.
Yes.
And when you
Yes.
can get the lesson from it, that is empowering and that allows you to be closer to destiny, closer to purpose and fulfill it.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, it's not that, we're going to eliminate these things. It's that when I have to confront them, when they show up, it's not going to take me out.
Right.
I'm going to be resilient. I can bounce back. I can recover. And resiliency means I recover stronger. I come back
Mm.
stronger. And so that's the goal. That's the goal of the Majestic Woman. And that's definitely the goal of the Majestic Woman VIP Day is that, again, we get you started. You know what your next step is. So,
Mm-hmm.
again, registration is open. You can register on my website. And let me put that up on the screen for you. You can go there and register. Once you get to the site, you'll see a calendar, and all you have to do is click on the date, which is January the 21st, and that will take you to the registration process. You fill out the form, and you're registered. So again, we have almost a couple weeks left before the day, but go ahead and register now. The other part of the Majestic Woman VIP Day is we're going to have breakout sessions. So you'll hear from all of the speakers in terms of what they're going to talk about. But then in the breakout session, it'll have an extended time. It'll be 70 minutes where you get to spend time with the coach, and the coach is going to go over their topic and their expertise content. And that's also where you can ask questions and you can have some one-on-one. And again, you'll just get in there and do the work. Also, and I'm excited about this, is we love to shop, right? Women love to shop. We are actually going to have vendor row. Have 5 vendors that you can shop from. And these vendors are all unique and special to me. Talking a little more about the vendors and showing. In fact, I post information about our vendors and who they are and what they're going to be bringing to the VIP day. So it's going to be a full day. As I said, it's power packed. It's going to be nonstop. When you come, I want you to already have your lunch there because you're not even going to have time to get up and go fix something. You need to bring your lunch when you show up because again, it's power packed. We got a lot to cover. It's going to be fun. It's going to be high energy, and you're going to have some takeaways. It's going to be great.
Definitely.
Anything else you'd like to share in terms of your content, Tonja?
I'm just excited for the women that will be there and the tools. You had me thinking of the scripture that says God has given us every tool that we need to be successful in this life. And this VIP day is definitely a part of that word, the tools that the women will get to be successful in this life. I'm just excited for them, for all that come and all they will leave with and how empowered they will leave that space. So uh, I
And I
really pray
thank
that they take
you
advantage
for
of it.
being a part of it. Yes, for being willing to be a part of it and share your knowledge and your expertise. Um, the other thing I did not mention in terms of introducing, and you said this in your bio, is that one of your most greatest accomplishments and what you love the most is being the mother of 3 daughters, 3 beautiful daughters. And so I just wanted to share that as well about you.
Yeah.
So
I don't, when
again,
I think about my
VIP day
daughters,
is,
I think God has
I'm sorry.
it always reminds, when I think about me having daughters, I always think God it reminds me that God has a sense of humor, because I grew up with three brothers and I had three daughters. I didn't even know how to deal with females. And then here now I'm called to women. So it's just God is so intentional, and he takes the foolish things to confound the wise. So that always makes me smile. But thank you for mentioning my daughters. Yeah, it's a joy being their mother.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I have
Yeah,
met one of them who is just precious. She is so precious.
yeah, yeah.
Any questions from any of our viewers? Let me look over here on YouTube. I don't see. I do see a question. Will the replay of the preview day be available? Yes, it'll be available on my YouTube channel. So you can go there anytime and just click on the lives, and you'll be able to view this video as well as my previous ones, because there's probably 2 other Majestic VIP Day videos that are out there that I'm talking about the content and what that day is going to be like. So they are all on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Suddenly Professional Counseling. So you can go there and see that, get that information. You can also call, and more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. And let me put that number up for you right quick. I hope that I have that. Oh, that I did. My phone number is 678-532-9760. That's 678-532-9760. 976. So again, you can just call as well and get information regarding the VIP day. So again, thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll be back again with more information. Again, you can register at suddenlypc.com, and be prepared to be enlightened, to be empowered, and to be equipped on Majestic VIP Day. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Tonja.
Thank you. Honored.
Good evening, everyone.